Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Friday Lunch and Learn sponsored by the DoSpace. My name is Julie, and I'll be your facilitator this afternoon. It is wonderful to see such a large group of people joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about, this is a month-long series. The series is on the integration of artificial intelligence in Microsoft Office. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I do have it up here on another monitor, and I will be checking from time to time to see what your questions might be. If you do have a question after the webinar, you can feel free to email me at jdospace@gmail.com. I see some additional people are logging in. It's nice to see some familiar names in the group, some folks that have followed me through the Lunch and Learns over the last few years, and looks like I've got a few former coworkers. So welcome. And if we have not met before, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. So again, sponsored by the DoSpace, the integration of artificial intelligence in Microsoft Office. So before I go into an actual illustration of utilizing or what artificial intelligence is built into Microsoft Office, let's talk a little bit about AI. There are some characteristics of AI that we want to talk about: learning, reasoning, perception, and interaction. So the first one, learning. AI systems improve performance over time by learning from data. This includes supervised and unsupervised and reinforced learning. I have worked with groups that have taught learning management systems how to answer questions for university students and was involved with a lot of the testing. It's a very interesting concept and a very long process, but a very valuable one as we move into the AI area to allow people to use AI, but use it with integrity and ethics. The second characteristic is reasoning. They can solve problems and make decisions based on data, rules, and goals. Perception. AI can interpret input from sensors, recognizing images, speech, and analyzing text. The analyzing text is something that's very interesting. Interaction. AI systems are designed to interact with humans through natural language, like chatbots, not like me, but that was for another presentation, or physical action such as robots. Examples of AI use that are currently that you may be familiar with and not realize that they're AI. So natural language processing, ChatGPT. We're going to use that quite a bit today. My illustration is going to be with Microsoft Word today. In the following weeks, we will go through different applications, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and show you how to use AI to your advantage professionally and personally with that. So virtual assistants, language translation, all very interesting. Computer vision, you've got your phones. That's the first thing that they set up on your phone, right? Is the facial recognition, so that you don't have to punch in your code. It opens for you automatically. Medical imaging analysis. Recommendation systems such as Netflix, Spotify, and Amazon. I don't use Netflix or Spotify very often, but Amazon, it's very good at analyzing and making recommendations for me as to perhaps what else I should buy from my searches and what I have purchased, especially over this last month. Autonomous systems, self-driving cars. I have never been in one. My husband experienced it out in Phoenix with our son and daughter-in-law, and I'm not sure that I'm quite that adventurous, but very interesting concept. And then of course drones that we see the news and a lot in the Omaha area. Predictive analysis, that was easy for me to say. Fraud detection, stock market prediction, some things like that you are probably familiar with it. Maybe you didn't even realize that this was AI. Excuse me. Some different examples, like I said, the virtual assistants, Siri, Alexa, Chat GPT, computer vision, like I said, the facial recognition, object detection, machine learning, algorithms, AI in healthcare, diagnosing diseases and drug discovery, creative fields, generating art, music, and writing. Just before this, I was playing around a little bit with some of the features of Chat GPT that I had not utilized before, and it said, give me a description of your dog. So I said, yellow lab, 7 months old, 64 pounds, tall, long tail, and it popped up, and it told it to give it a Valentine theme, and it popped up with this yellow lab, just very beautiful. It's amazing how quickly that will happen. So if you're looking for something for a presentation and you can't find exactly what you're looking for, again, AI can help you with that if you just give a description of what you're looking for. Ethics, bias, privacy, accountability. Like I said, self-driving cars and drones. And then, of course, in business, we have predictive analytics and customer service automation. And I think we all probably have used that on a website, or sometimes different companies have, you can text and you can chat with an automated service, or you can say, hey, I really need to talk to a person. Sometimes that really getting to talk to a person is a little bit more difficult than we would like, but it is possible. So AI has been integrated into Microsoft Office to enhance productivity and user experience. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the different tools. So what we're going to focus on today is Microsoft Word, like I said earlier. The editor tool, looking at grammar, spelling, style suggestions, readability improvement, suggestive language, some things like that. Dictation, if you don't like to type, you can certainly dictate your messages, your papers, your emails, whatever the case may be, simply by clicking on dictate, and it will process your language for you. Mine's a little bit slow. That may be because of my computer, my internet connection. I'm not sure, but just to let you know that. Smart Search. Provides insights and research recommendations. So if you're going on vacation and you're looking for something in Kansas City, Missouri, or Los Angeles, California, or whatever the case may be, you can type in that city, and it will give you recommendations as to what you can do, where you can go. Very much so, just like doing a Google search or a web search of any kind, but it will allow you to do a search from within Microsoft Word. And then translation, you can translate from English to or any language from one to the other very quickly, very easily within Microsoft Word. So those are a few that we're going to talk about. We're also going to talk about the integration of ChatGPT into Microsoft Word here in just a little bit. But I want to go ahead and talk about some of the other software apps that we're going to be looking at throughout the month of January. In Microsoft Excel, ideas features uses AI to analyze data trends, identify patterns, suggest visualizations. It's really interesting how quickly it can analyze your data, and that can be whether it's 10 lines or 50,000 lines. It automatically comes up on the side and says, hey, here's some things that we pulled out that might be of interest to you. Or you can type in, what are my top two or three salespeople, and it will go ahead and generate that. If you are familiar with Excel, you can use conditional formatting to do that, but now you can also have AI do it for you without going through that process. So forecasting, obviously very important, predict future trends. Data types, looking at online databases for geography and stocks and different things like that. And then automation, suggesting formulas and automates repetitive tasks. So very interesting the way that Excel has um, is utilizing AI to our benefit. And a lot of people will say, well, you don't need to know how to use Excel. You really do. I did have somebody about 4 years ago send me an email saying, hey, you might want to take a look at this, that, the artificial intelligence in Microsoft Excel. And my response was, I think it's a little too early for that. Well, guess what, folks? It's not too early for it now. And I know many people are against artificial intelligence. So the bottom line is that it's here, it's not going away. So we really need to learn how to use it in education, professionally and personally. Like I said, I can't stress this enough with integrity and ethics. PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. If you haven't used the designer tool, it's a game changer, folks. I personally didn't know that it was AI when it first came out, and that was 7 years ago when I first used it. But it's really a game changer for folks. Presentation coach. I just used this a couple of months ago. I had a presentation to give with a group of colleagues, and I wanted to practice my portion. And it comes up and it gives you, all kinds of recommendations. Are you talking too fast? Are you talking too slow? Are you saying too many times? Just different things like that, like the filler tunes, the pace, the tone. But it gives you great feedback as to how you are doing personally. Transcription and subtitles, it converts speech into so using PowerPoint. And then Microsoft Outlook. Microsoft Outlook. If you are an Outlook user, of course, there's AI in other forms of email as well, but we're going to focus on the Microsoft Office package. So prioritizing important emails by learning user preferences, meeting insights, and smart replies are all included in that. And then Microsoft Teams. If you use Microsoft Teams, they've got real-time transcription, background noise suppression, background or custom backgrounds that you can utilize very much so, just like Zoom and Google Meets, all those different options that you have for virtual meetings. Just making sure there are no questions. And then Power Automate and other tools. You have the AI Builder and the Cortana integration that we will talk about. So what about the future of AI in Microsoft? Microsoft, and this came directly from them, continues to expand AI integration, leveraging tools like OpenAI's GPT models for advanced language understanding and task automation. So it's making it more intuitive, efficient, and accessible for users of all levels. So that's just kind of a little bit of an overview that I wanted to give you before we go in and take a look at some of these. So like I said, we are going to focus on Microsoft Word today. So I have a blank document up here somewhere. There we go. Okay. So I just have a blank Microsoft Word document up, and I'm going to go ahead and go back to my home. I will request from the DoSpace that they send it out. Yes, absolutely. I know that I don't think they're using their YouTube channel at this time. I won't get the recording, but I will ask my contact to send it out to everybody. So yes, absolutely, great question. So looking at those options that we had in Microsoft Word, the editor tool. So if I come over to the review ribbon, you have your editor, your spelling and grammar and so on. So if I try to type in Okay, so it just went, popped up and it corrected my spelling. This is an example. Oh. So editor, I spelt wrong on purpose. So I can go to editor, I can go to spelling and grammar, but I'm just going to go ahead and click on editor. And it's going to come over and it actually doesn't, it's not telling me that that's spelled wrong. Let's see. Interesting. I'm not sure why it's not showing me that. No, it shouldn't be. I mean, because I've got misspellings in here. Let me grab some other data that we're going to use anyway. Okay, there we go. That could be, I don't know why it would be 100 words, but we'll go with that, Amy. Thank you. So you know, if and you know this, if you've used Microsoft Word before, that it's going to go in and tell you that you have a spelling error by underlining it in red. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the editor and see if it has any suggestions for us. Which it does not. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one that we were talking about in Microsoft Word, and that is the dictation. So I'm going to move back over here to the home ribbon, and you can click on dictate. Hello, team, comma, line break. New line. It was fabulous meeting with all of you today. Period. I appreciate you sharing your ideas and expertise. This is an example of great leadership within our company. New line. Best regards, comma, line break. Or new, I keep saying line break. It's supposed to be new line. New line. Julie. So as you can see, it doesn't always pick up exactly because it put in July instead of Julie. So you probably gonna have to keep an eye on that. But if you're one that wants to use the dictation, it certainly can. Court, I saw your. Oh, good, you use it? Awesome. Yeah, I don't use it on a regular basis, but you certainly can. It is very user friendly. I know in the past, you had to use other applications if you wanted to dictate. But this allows you to go in and dictate from within Microsoft Word. You can also do a smart search. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to type in Omaha, Nebraska. Travis, you have. Okay, good. And if I go ahead and highlight that and do a left click, and I can come over here and I can just say search Omaha, Nebraska. Now sometimes it says smart search, sometimes it just says search. It depends on your version of Microsoft Word. But when I do that, it actually goes out to the internet and it does a search for you. So here's something on Wikipedia, the 101 best attractions. So we'll just click on that and see what it comes up with. It's coming up over here on another monitor. I'll bring it over here. So here are the 101 best attractions. And obviously the zoo, the old market. So lots of great things that it will come up with. So again, if you are searching for something from within, you can do a smart search and it will go out and it will do your search for you. Oh, my mouse gets a little bit funny sometimes in Zoom. I'm not sure why, but it tends to act a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring back up this document. And we'll go ahead and select this and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go over to the review ribbon and to language and to translate. Underneath translate, you can click on translate selection. And here it is in English. And then you can come down and you can determine what language you would like to translate it to. So you can see that it has endless options for you to go in and translate it to. Very interesting, especially in a global economy. What we can do with this. So there is your translation. If you want to insert it, you can do so by clicking on insert and it will insert into your document. Good. Is the audio better for you, Court? All right, excellent. So those are the four main ones, but here's really what another thing that I want to show you, and I use this a lot, folks. It is it's again, I used this term earlier, but it's a game changer. It allows you to work much more effectively and efficiently when going through just daily tasks. Now, what I did was I went to add-ons and I added on this GPT for Excel and Word. But here's what I ran into. It only allows you to use it for so long and then it wants you to buy it. which is normal, right? Which is normal. So if you're going to use this a lot, and the tokens, you can see that the tokens are equivalent to the number of characters that you're putting in the chat. To do just a little workaround, because I'm not sure that I want to spend that money quite yet, even though it would be really nice to have it, right here from within Microsoft Word. But what I do, let me go ahead and just find some of this stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna split my screen. And there are several different, like Chat GPT, you have, yeah, you are welcome for it. You have other ones like Copilot, that you can utilize. But I usually use Chat GPT just because that's the one that I've gone to. But it can do a lot of very interesting things. Oh yeah, there we go. Travis has got a few more that he wanted to share with the group. So let's say that you have this, and we've seen this a couple of times. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, and this is an example of a discussion board. So perhaps what I want to do is I want to say, let me see. I can just tell Chat GPT to write so this is something that makes it fairly easy. I like it because it's a little bit more creative than I tend to be. What I typically would do I would type in, I have my own openings, and I'll say, go ahead and rewrite this for me, and I'll show you some examples of that as well. But it gives you some a little bit more pizzazz. One of the other things that I do, and I've got some other examples over here, is write email. So I just put in there, the other thing that's AI is really not concerned about is spelling. So it understands. So dear student, I just finished reading your initial post in business. I'm going to say, well done. Some of the things that you'll notice in AI when you ask it to do this is that it tends to put a lot of dashes in. It also tends to put in a lot of lists. So you can ask it to write it in paragraph form, and we'll look a little bit more at that. But this just puts in a little bit more pizzazz than what I am used to. Some of the other things that you can do is I can take this post and I can say, I want you to evaluate this. And it pulls everything out for me. The mission statement, the strategic, tactical, the operational goal, areas of improvement, things that they did well. And you can kind of go from there. Not something that I use very often when I'm looking at things, but I just think it's interesting how quickly it can interpret data such as this. Another example of something is maybe using what are the do's and don'ts of PowerPoint. So here is what it's doing. It's going out and, searching very quickly and coming up with some of the do's and don'ts of PowerPoint for you. And if you weren't aware, you can go ahead and copy and paste this into, this is not an AI tool, by the way. You can copy and paste it into Microsoft Word and import it into PowerPoint, as long as you have headings 1 and headings 2. And it will put all of this data on the slides for you in a very nice, neat manner. And I will look at that. I think we'll do PowerPoint next week. So if that's something that you're interested in, we'll go ahead and look at that as well. I read a SMART goal this morning when I was watching the news. They were talking about New Year's resolutions, and they were talking to a physician about some things that you can do concerning sticking with your New Year's resolution, if it has to do with exercise or playing the piano or whatever the case may be. So you can write a SMART goal concerning losing 10 pounds in 2025. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. So specific, I will lose 10 pounds by focusing on a combination of healthy eating, exercise, and portion measurable. I'll track my weight loss weekly, achievable. Maybe lose 1 to 2 pounds a month. That would be 24 pounds. I guess if it was only 1 pound, maybe not. Losing 10 pounds and making me feel healthier. Increase my energy level by December 1st, 2025. So there is your overall SMART goal. You could also put a SMART goal in there and ask, is this a SMART goal? I'm just going to take this portion of it. It's very polite. It says, hey, this is a great starting point, but you're missing all of this other stuff. And it gives you, an example of a SMART goal from down below. Something else that you might want to look at, and I'm just going to ask this to rewrite this. So if you have an email or a memo, a message that you want to put in, you can have it ChatGPT or whichever one you use rewrite things for you. So you can see that it took my link and it went ahead and put the link into the name of the article rather than listing the link, and changed it up a little bit better. Just makes it a little bit peppier, in my opinion, utilizing it that way. Okay, any questions on Microsoft Word, or does anybody have anything else that they would like to add? Good. Okay. I'm going to stop with Microsoft Word. I went ahead and copied this. And we will talk a little bit about how to utilize this information and then move it over to Microsoft PowerPoint. Since we have some time left, we might as well go ahead and dive into a little bit of what I was going to talk about next week. Just means that we'll be able to go a little bit deeper next week. It used to be that if you had the OneDrive, that if you went into Word 365 online, and you had this in, you could export it to Microsoft PowerPoint. Either my version of it, it will not work anymore. I've sent this to some things to some colleagues, and they agree that it doesn't seem to be operational. But I found this workaround, and I am going to share this with you, and then I'm going to share a little bit more about AI in PowerPoint as well. So. Okay, so the key to this is that you need to make these headings. So the dues, I'm just gonna make that a heading, and then this needs to be a heading. And these need to be headings too. So let me go through. Clicking on the wrong one. Okay. I was trying to do this a faster way, but clearly it's not working for me. And I won't do the whole thing. I don't want you to have to sit there and watch me edit this. What is the rest of that? So what I'm doing is I'm making these either headings or headings two. And what's that doing is it's telling, it's gonna tell Microsoft PowerPoint to put this on a new slide, to move to a new slide. So when it sees a new heading, it will move to a new slide. That's the way that I understand that this works. Again, it's not something that I use a lot, but it's a very interesting concept. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. And we need to close it. And we'll go back to Microsoft PowerPoint. And I'm going to go to File and to New. Where's your open? Okay. And I might have missed a few because I was trying to do that in a hurry, but Simple, we'll just take that one out. So you can see that it put everything on the slides for me, very, very nicely. So, PowerPoint, do's and don'ts. And, then what I'm gonna do is, if you haven't used this before, if you don't have this designer, this is really cool. Interesting, Travis. Okay. So if you come over to this designer, and like I said, this is a real game changer because you don't have to think about anything. It does everything, everything for you. You can just go to the next slide and it will say, hey, okay, here's some examples of how to put this together. And you can select whichever one you want. Some of these, the text is a little bit too small. So you might want to go in and edit that once you're done. But you can certainly go in and use this designer and it does all of that work for you. So those days of, positioning everything, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a new blank slide. I'm gonna run over here to insert and picture, and we'll just go to stock images real quick. Because if you got multiple pictures on a slide, I'm just gonna select these first three and tell it to insert. How much time in the old days did we spend resizing graphics and making sure that everything was just perfect in its right spot? And now when we bring this information in, they're on top of each other. But if I go back to the home ribbon, here's what it does. It says, okay, here's some different options for you. Here's your three graphics. How do you want to display them? Now, I don't have any text on this, so it's got some different ideas, and that would take me forever to try to come up with that. And now it's real simple in just a couple of clicks, especially if you use PowerPoint to put together music videos. This is a real time saver. That's when I first started using it, that designer. So that's all driven by AI. Very, very interesting concept that saves us a lot of time as well with our productivity if you use PowerPoint quite a bit. I don't know. I know that quite a few folks have not used this in the past when I introduce it. But it makes it much easier for people to go in and put together presentations. It's not necessarily teaching you how to put together a presentation, but I'm not sure that that's the point anymore because everything it does it for us. So that's a little preview of what we'll be looking at next week. All right. Any additional comments, questions? Anything in particular that you'd like me to cover? If you have signed up for the series, if you have not, hopefully you will. To come back and talk about the different AI options that we have. Awesome, thanks, Adi. At the end of the month, there are three. I believe there's three. The following 3 Fridays will be on AI, dedicated to AI. Awesome, awesome. Okay, Jessica, I will, I'm copying your question. I'm gonna look into that. AI is always changing, isn't it? Absolutely. You're welcome. Okay, Travis, I'm copying that one over to a Word document as well. Okay, well, as always, a big shout out to the Do Space for everything that they do for the greater Omaha area. Lots of great things. There's some, there are some additional AI, on the calendar. Can you use that dictate tool without a charge on Word? A charge as in, uh, costing money? Is that what you mean, Court? No, no, there is no cost. It's built in. Yeah, good question. Yeah, there are a couple of sessions on Thursdays. I know that because I signed up for them. So take a look at the calendar. Make sure that you're taking advantage of all the great things that the Do Space does for everyone. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining me, and I'll look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care, everybody.